Viewer discretion is advised. Paul Sedgwick took a deep breath and entered the room. The alien entity was already seated at the opposite end of the table, adjusting its flat cap and jacket. It eyed Paul, seeming to study him from top to bottom. It could tell he was nervous. Likewise, he sensed apprehension in the entity. Even though he knew the interview would be monitored via camera and that backup was right outside the door, he could not help but feel vulnerable under its intense stare. "Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Paul Sedgwick. You can call me Paul. I have some questions for you. If you cooperate, this will go much easier for you, and for me as well. And your accommodations here will be—" "Gosh darn it, kid. Get on with it, will ya? Time's money, and my money is going down the drain as we speak. Forget about the accommodations, 'cause I ain't staying here after this." Paul was taken aback by the outburst. This was his first assignment, and he had felt ready to face the worst otherworldly entity possible, but this defied his expectations in the weirdest way. He was not expecting an imposing alien entity such as the one before him now to behave like his stubborn grandfather. "I have to be firm and stern," he kept telling himself. "I can't blow my first real assignment. Sir, I'm going to ask you to calm down or you'll be left in the cell until—" "What? What are you gonna do, huh? Kill me? Do it then. I bet you couldn't hurt a fly." The entity stood abruptly. Immediately, the backup team rushed into the room, guns drawn. "Freeze! Don't move or I'll shoot." "Oh, you don't want to do this, boyo." Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today, we're bringing you SCP Foundation KETER Class Object SCP-5374. SCP-5374, also known as Alan Gray, is a 1.14 meter tall, gray-skinned, hairless humanoid with large black eyes and no visible nose or ears. The origin of this entity is currently unknown, but it is fully sapient and has access to advanced anomalous technology in the form of SCP-5374-1. Prior to containment, it owned and operated Farmer Gray's all-natural cattle company under the alias Alan Gray. SCP-5374-1 is a spacecraft approximately 26 meters in diameter that is capable of both atmospheric flight and travel through vacuums. It is disc-shaped with a raised dome in the center and a cannon-like mechanism protruding from the base. This mechanism is capable of emitting directed beams of light that can disintegrate solid matter. 5374-1 is invisible to radar and all other known means of detection except direct visual identification. Starting in June of 2016, the spacecraft was witnessed all across mainland US until it was contained by the Foundation in January of 2017. It has proven difficult to distinguish reports of genuine 5734-1 sightings from the large quantity of false sightings of UFOs received across the country each year, and as such, Paul Sedgwick was assigned to sift through reports of sightings that could be linked to suspected or known 5374 activities. "Hey, Sedgwick, what are you working on over there?" "Oh, nothing much. Just compiling data from the facility's last containment breach the other day. It's almost done." "All right, whatever. You can put that on hold. I need your help with this huge list of reports about UFO sightings. Actually, why don't you just take this, and I'll handle whatever you're doing now, eh?" Sure. I'll handle it." "All right, great. Cool. Awesome. I'll leave it to you then. I'm gonna go work on that thing you were working on, because there's lots to do." "All right, enough talk. Bye." A few minutes after his superior proudly waltzed out of the room, Paul received a folder chock full of reports. Just from looking at it, he could tell that this task would take a team of 4 weeks to complete. Paul's colleague, Chadwick, walked into the room and immediately noticed the stunned expression on his face. "Hey bro, I saw the boss leaving the room all jolly-like. Man was practically dancing, and here you are with that look on your face. What are you looking at? Holy! It's my new assignment. I have to look through all of these reports of UFO sightings and find the real ones. Good luck with that, bro. If exhaustion doesn't get you, the aliens will. They'll know you're onto them now." You're not serious, right? Is that why he wants me to handle this file?" With no other options, Paul got to work. He worked tirelessly and managed to compile a series of events that could be attributed to 5374. The first known sighting that matched the spacecraft's description was reported in Haskell County, Texas on the 24th of June, 2016. 3 cows were discovered missing from a farm. The following month, multiple crop circles were identified on farms across Nebraska, as well as more sightings of 5374-1. Each of the crop circles was in the shape of different words, most notably. The next sightings were so outlandish that they compelled him to conduct interviews with the eyewitnesses. Yeah, I saw it all right. There was this huge saucer swooping in from nowhere. It just suddenly appeared in the sky, and then it shot out a huge laser beam, bright as hell, completely destroyed some farms way down yonder. I told everyone, but they wouldn't believe it. But that dang crater from the explosion was still there, man, I'm telling you. I was doing my rounds one night and I saw it, that ugly alien thing wearing a silver spacesuit or something. And it was trying to get my cows into his spaceship. So I ran up to him and hollered at him like, "Hey, what the hell are you doing to my cows?" And that thing was furious, I'm telling you. He took out like a laser gun or something and told me to back off or he's gonna disintegrate me to ashes. And then it left, just like that? Yeah, I figured he's civilized enough to tell me before shooting. He's good enough to have those cows, so I let him. You're just scared, weren't you? Furthermore, the CEOs of Tyson Foods, Cargill Meat Solutions, and Conagra Brands were all abducted by 5374, so Paul arranged an interview of the CEOs. Yeah, we were abducted by an alien and got taken to some barren planet. I don't know where. It told us to stop exporting beef and any related products to the UK. Otherwise, we'd be fried by what seemed to be a laser gun of some sort. We had to agree, of course, and the next thing I knew, we were out in some woods. Damn thing didn't even have the decency to leave us somewhere near civilization. Not to mention, we didn't even have clothes on our backs when it dumped us. After becoming aware of 5374, the Foundation's optical satellites were redirected to monitor multiple large cattle farms across the United States mainland. On January of 2017, satellites were able to track 5374-1 to its location of origin, a farmhouse in rural Yorkshire, UK. After compiling the data, Paul presented it to his superior officer, who was lounging in his office. What the? You actually went and done it? In 4 days? I thought for sure you'd be… You know what? This is your file from now on. You handle this anomaly. Paul's next course of action was requesting a raid on the farmhouse. Before the raid, remote surveillance was carried out at the location, identifying 5374 as being present within the farmhouse, as well finding its spacecraft located at a nearby farm. In one of the surveillance photos, 5374 was seen fixing its spacecraft with a set of tools. Notably, it was not wearing the silver spacesuit described in previous encounters. Instead, it wore conventional human clothing, including a tweed jacket and a flat cap. That's the alien you were investigating? Yeah, to be honest, I wasn't expecting an alien to wear human clothes. Oh my god, I think it's looking at us. Yeah, and it looks grumpy. But still, be careful, bro. I heard this thing and its flying saucer can beam you away, even when you're inside, under a roof. If you see sudden bright lights, bro, run. Yeah, thanks for the tips. Alright, I got this. A team of agents from Site 109 conducted a raid on the farms, taking 5374 into containment, along with the spacecraft. 5374 was escorted by a team of armed security into the interview chamber. Paul Sedgwick and Chadwick observed from a distance. "Stop pointing that gun at my face and get your filthy hands off me." He sounds just like your granddad when he gets all cranky. Next thing you know, he'll probably demand a lawyer. And later, that's exactly what he did. You want a what? That's right, you heard me. I want a lawyer. I've had enough with all your guns and hollering. People used to be more civilized. Cover me, I'm switching to non-lethal. Stop, lethal or not, put down your guns, damn it. And no sir, you cannot have a lawyer. Why not? Is it because of my skin color, the way I look? Well, to be fair… Well, then that's just rude, don't you think? Sir, you stole cows and abducted people. So what? I've stolen a few cows, and I didn't kill those men, did I? Yeah, maybe I got a tad upset and acted rash, but them big American corporations have been flooding Britain with cheap, low-quality beef, and no one's buying my beef no more. Gone are the days when people would flock to some good old rustic, locally grown beef products. Now everyone just wants cheap meat. Look, we are not interested in your crimes, but you're not going anywhere. Frankly, aside from those crimes, your very presence amongst the public is a threat to normalcy. You will remain here in containment, and the comfort of your stay will depend heavily on how cooperative you are. Now, if you tell me what you do and where you're from, you bunch of prejudicial animals, ain't no way I'm staying here. 5374 pulled a ray gun from his jacket and waved it around. Paul immediately stepped in and pushed down the gun barrel of the lead security officer, who had been about to fire. You don't want to do this, pal. My colleague here is very excited right now. One wrong move and his gun will shred you to pieces. You didn't bother to frisk him? I didn't farm my entire life just to stay in some cruddy building. And if that means having to get out of here, I'm taking you with me, boyo. Wait, what do you mean? Whoa, what the? No! Suddenly, a huge beam of light shot through the ceiling, catching both 5374 and Paul in it. As they began to float, Paul struggled to maintain balance. Stop right there! Come back down at once! Sorry, but you're not invited, boyo. It fired a laser through the security lead's body, disintegrating him into ashes within seconds. Where are you taking me? The beam disappeared, along with Paul and 5374. A giant circular hole where the beam of light had come through was all that remained. Paul was later found in a nearby forest, shivering and without clothes. 5374, however, was seen to have resumed farming on the far side of the moon. It is unclear how it or its cattle are able to survive without oxygen, water, or food, but reports from Site 109's astronomy department indicate that the cows appear to be thriving, and that 5374 has shown no desire to return to Earth.